Well, oh my gosh. Nice. We are back with FS Students Unscripted. I am Johnny Sprinkle, the student pastor here at Five Stones Church. I guess I should say for now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, very exciting. But I'm joined today by several guests, and so I'm really excited about that. But I want y'all to just introduce yourselves. Share anything that's on your heart and mind, something good that happened today, something bad that's happened this week. I don't know. Whatever you want to share. We'll start right here to the right.
I'm Chloe. I'm Johnny's wife.
Yeah, you're so much more than that.
I am. That's so true. I teach third grade at Carmel Christian, and something exciting this week is we're very into the World Cup. So like Team USA and Team Norway, that's like my family's heritage. Mm-hmm. They're killing it. So we're really, really proud.
Will they eventually
of World
meet
Cup.
each other possibly?
Hopefully. Actually, no. I mean, hopefully at some point, because that means
it
either like if
possible.
they're in the end or something. Mm-hmm. I mean, I will be like Team USA. Mm-hmm. I would be cheering
100%.
for like the whole time.
And I think your whole family would too. You think they would cheer for Norway over USA?
I think my mom would.
Her mom.
Yeah, I'm like,
every
no.
year
I'm like,
the
my mom would.
international thing.
Yes,
It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
So anyways, but World Cup has been very exciting
Very exciting.
this week.
Okay.
My name is Lauren Manriquez, and I am the 11th grade girls small group leader, which is very fun. Shout out to my 11th grade girlies.
Woo-hoo.
I am a 5th grade American history teacher, and something exciting. I didn't really have anything exciting that happened today. I just had a really good cup of coffee.
Hey.
And that was the highlight of my day.
Where'd you have the coffee from?
I brewed it myself
What?
in my fancy
What
little
beans?
coffee machine. It might have been Stumptown. I'm not sure.
That's
It might have been
good.
Stumptown.
Sometimes,
Yes.
I love Stumptown.
You have a grinder?
I do. I have a grinder. Yep.
Nice.
Now, was it iced, hot?
It was hot. I always have hot
forget.
coffee in the morning.
You're a hot coffee.
I'm a
girl.
hot coffee person.
Now, do
Yep.
you put any kind of like cream, sugar?
Sometimes I just drink it black. And this morning I put in a little bit of like vanilla cream.
Yum.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Love that. I love Stumptown.
Yeah.
It is so...
That's a
so
local
good.
brand?
No. It is not brewed. Roasted. Like, not brewed. It is roasted in Portland.
Oh.
In Oregon. And so
With
they're
his
like...
Portland t-shirt on.
Literally.
I
It's like
did not even plan that. But it is...
This segment is brought to you.
It's
by Stumptown Coffee.
Oh my gosh! If you want to sponsor, please call me. But it's like their they have Starbucks obviously, but it's like their Starbucks alternative, like their local kind of alternative. Like there are so many of them all over the place. Stumptown coffees. So, yeah. But all right. Last but not least,
I am Joel McMillion, and I am the 7th grade boys youth leader. I am a teacher at Carmel Christian School, 12th grade Bible. Just celebrated my 10th year there.
Nice.
I actually taught Lauren
Yeah.
all 4 years of her high school.
One of them was biology, not
One of
Bible.
them, the first one
Yep.
was
that's
honors.
Honors biology because I'm smart.
Yeah,
Because I'm smart.
she's so smart. And let's see, a good thing that happened to me today. I got to go have lunch with Isabella, Caleb, Naomi Joy, and I'm their dad. Caleb and Naomi Joy. And we went to meet Isabella's latest trainees, full circle story trainees. There are 12 of them, I believe, from all around the United States. So that was cool. We got to go have lunch with them.
where'd y'all go to lunch?
So we went to Operation Christmas Child office. Isabella had catered in Viva Chicken.
Yum.
Always a
Classic.
classic.
It's her favorite.
So
place.
good.
It's so
Although
good.
I was disappointed because I thought there'd be plantains. Either they ate them all or they didn't have any.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Dang.
We have no plantains for you. I could have gotten some.
I got tropical smoothie on the way in.
Oh, yeah. If not this, then that's better. Okay.
It works.
So we were discussing before how this goes. We have some questions here. Y'all have not seen them, although Chloe's they're bleeding into her eyes right now. But I have not really given them much thought, even though I accumulated them all and everything. So we just kind of go off the cuff. I heard that y'all may have some questions, so you can bring them if you want to. You don't have to feel any pressure. But we'll just go through and get through as many as we can. These are submitted by students. They are real questions, except for this first one. I wanted to talk about this one in honor of where we are in the calendar and everything. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one is, what are some of your favorite camp memories or moments, either as a leader or as a student? Since we are going to camp next week, going to a new camp, whoop, whoop, Crossroads. And I know that we have all been to camps before, either as leaders or as students and different things. So what are some of your favorite camp memories? They can be silly, they can be serious, or something in between. Does anybody have one that immediately comes to mind?
From a lifetime of camps, not just camps associated with.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, any camp. Like, even back when you were a student or something, if you wanted to. Anybody got any memories?
I never went to camp as a youth or a kid. But when I was in seminary, a buddy of mine had worked at this summer camp in Maryland. And so he approached me one day and he was like, Joel, have you ever considered working at a summer camp? I was like, no, not really. And so he said, you ought to come with me over Christmas break. And they have this reunion. And so I went to their reunion and I fell in love with the camp. So I ended up going to the camp. And camp counseling is a ton of fun. Like just the energy, the life. But it does get exhausting when you're there for 8 weeks.
That's
but
a
you
lot.
make some great friendships with people that I have managed to keep in touch with still today. And that was back in the summer of 2021 was my first time. And then I worked there for 6 summers total. And every year I got a promotion, so I went from counselor to crew
flex.
chief,
Not to brag or anything, but I got a
camp
promotion.
director. And
Let's go.
I finished with summer staff. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I feel like I have been on like all of the different sides. Like I went to camp growing up. I'm obviously like a volunteer who goes to camp, and I was on staff at a camp for a summer, and we would travel to different states and like host camps in the United States. It was really cool. And
Who'd you do that with?
Camp Kid Jam.
Oh, cool.
Was that orange?
Yeah,
Okay.
Orange.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Orange.
it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I don't know. I think, as a student going to camp was always such a good time for me to just, and this is like sappy, but just kind of like focus on my faith and like step outside of my normal routine on a day-to-day basis and like, I guess just kind of be reflective and think about, okay, like what does my faith mean to me? Where am I in my faith journey? It was a moment to be both encouraged but also convicted about things that maybe I had gotten into in just the daily routine or ways I've neglected maybe my relationship with Christ. And so it was always a good like moment for me to recenter myself on like what's important and then leave camp with tools necessary to like go into the next school year and feeling like re-energized and such. I think just being a camp leader though is also so fun because I love seeing the kids at camp and like get dressed up and have so much fun and like just all of the things that go on at camp. It's really a good time. So I'm excited to try out this new place and see what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome.
I do too.
I'm really, really
Very
excited.
excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the dorms.
Yes, love a good dorm moment.
Yes.
Love
And
good
today,
dorms.
speaking of, like today, we have finalized the rooming list.
That's awesome.
So,
I can't wait to see it.
This is probably going to be posted Thursday, so
Okay.
we're recording this on Tuesday. And yeah, students, we already know where you're going to be rooming.
It's exciting.
Crazy.
Heyo.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My probably most memorable story, very different. Mine's just funny. I'm like, so our youth group growing up, always kind of like how we do Fortress, they always did this like big game, like the one night, but it was very intense. Like it was not just, like it was very, very lifelike, and there were like things around the camp you had to go do, but they were always very like Army, CIA, like
Oh,
themed.
yeah, we did stuff like that
and
too.
people would like come with like airsoft guns and like shoot at you and all the things. And so the very
We
first
won't be
time,
doing that.
That would not be allowed anymore.
well, because my story is one of my best friends, they like used her dad as like part of the video, and this part was kind of weird. Like I really don't know why they did this, but they like interrupted the altar call, and like a video came up on the screen, and it looked like, you know, fuzzy, like there was something
Something was
going wrong
interrupting.
with tech, and it was her dad with like tape everywhere, like it looked like he was being held hostage, and he
my
and like
story.
it started the game night, and like after altar call, like had just, and it was like, I think it was like also like the Thursday night where it's like like everyone's and it's like popping on the screen, and her dad is saying like, you know, I've been taken, you know, you've got to
help me.
She starts bawling because she thinks her dad has been kidnapped. Like she thinks this is real.
So they did it really well.
Yes.
Too well.
Yes.
Like I'm like,
Yes.
and then like people came in the room, and we were all like, it was so jarring because it was like we had just like literally
Sounds
been in a
traumatic.
spiritual. No,
Was
it
the task to rescue him? Like
Yes.
y'all completed? Oh,
We had to
okay.
complete all these tasks, and that's how he would be like set free from
Oh,
like
nice.
kidnappers. And like she was unwell the rest of the night. Like it was, I was like, it's very classic 2000s.
It sounds like
Yes.
You screw.
underground church type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yes.
ordered it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I went to a conference one time where they brought, they had some fake weapons, and it was about persecution, and I was like, I think I'm 12. I think this might be a lot for me. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. But it was not for a game. It was dead serious.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
something.
what?
Did you have
It's
another?
crazy what we grew up in.
So crazy.
Church is different now.
Yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Was there anything else, or is that just kind of your?
That was it.
That was
Yeah.
real memorable.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Oh man, I really feel like, man, my favorite camp memories are moments I could go. We could take the rest of the time sharing this type of stuff. Like I got called to ministry as a 6th grader at camp. I remember writing a sermon and showing it to my youth pastor. I found it like early in ministry, and I read it, and I literally, I was reading it, and I was like, I can only imagine. Like my youth pastor was so encouraging, and I'm like, this is nonsense. Like this is pure.
this is great.
It's heresy. It's like, what is this?
Very
But I
topical.
remember reading. It was very
Yeah,
topical,
very.
and I
Where's
remember
the scripture?
handing it to him and being like, I think I'm called to ministry, and like this is a sermon I wrote. Oh,
Become ready.
yeah. Thank you, Steve, for encouraging me.
honest.
Give me the
And that 6th grade camp was big because it was also when I got my first girlfriend. So like
Oh,
I had
alright.
some summer camp love a couple of
Summer camp
times.
love.
Yeah, it's,
We all did.
you know, it
We
has
all
to
did.
happen.
Summer camp or mission trip.
All,
Yep.
I was like, oh no. Yeah, summer camp or mission trip.
Different as a counselor.
It was,
Yes.
but there
But,
was
like, as a-
There's
Yes.
definitely
There's definitely
drama as
some
camp
always
counselors.
trying
Yes,
to hook
yes,
people.
yes.
Yes. And then as a leader, most of the stories I don't feel like I can probably share on the podcast are my favorite stories. Just like insane things that have happened, or things that students have said to me, or like situations I've had to enter into are all just fantastic.
I did get proposed to at camp.
Oh,
Like
What?
Johnny's
like
face.
legit? Like a real
And like the fifth,
proposal?
I mean,
Oh, okay.
no,
Fifth
like
grade.
he had, like he, I don't think, but he was. It was like the
Hey,
fourth or
Johnny,
fifth.
you
I've
started
never-
it with
That's
I
true.
got
No,
my
it's fine. I just-
girlfriend.
It
But
was
she
fourth
knew
or
that.
fifth
I didn't know
grade.
this.
And like it was 4th or 5th grade, and it was like all the counselors had like probably, I think, pressured him into doing it.
God.
And then, but like I thought it was so real. I was like,
You're like, I'm not ready.
I have to talk to my dad.
Did you ask my dad?
Oh my
literally, and I
gosh.
was like, ah.
That is, I had no idea. Yeah, I'm off mic. I'll have to ask you who it was.
I'll tell you.
Not that he's not listening,
Yeah,
but
he's not a threat.
I'm not threatened much. But yeah, and so as a leader, like I think, gosh, there's so many amazing memories, like from doing big fortress games. I mean, that's always just, you never know what's going to happen. I remember the first year we tried to do night games when we did that like 4-corner thing, and it was just like war.
Yeah, it was
And
chaos.
people were so mad. That's a great memory. I remember, like, and then
Lots
every
of cheating.
lots of cheating. Man, just being able to pray with students and just hearing them open up, like truly at camp, I feel as though I can think of several moments where it was like, okay, our relationship or your trust in me has like gone to a different level.
Yeah.
And you've shared something or we've talked through something or whatever. And it's really kind of like what you were saying, springboarding your spiritual life. It's like really springboarded like the relational aspect we've been able to have with students. And so, camp is just the best. Like I really cannot wait for next week. It's going to be so much fun. Pedal to the metal. Unbelievable. But yeah, so those are some of the favorite camp memories or moments. And so maybe if you're listening to this and you're going to camp, you might get proposed to. You never know. Who knows?
Or you just might make new friends that you can look forward to seeing.
Spend more time with Jesus.
Spoken like the dad.
Well, yeah, I was going to say one of my favorite memories now, taking my kids to camp, is Naomi Joy every year has this group of friends that she made the first year. And they try to coordinate so that they can see each other and they keep in touch throughout the year. So she has genuine camp friends.
Yeah.
That live in Maryland that she doesn't ever get to see until she goes to camp.
Yes.
That is what's kind of fun about like our camp, because growing up, we didn't do that. Like our camp was insulated, so it was only our church people. Yeah. And so it's cool that, our kids have opportunities to meet.
Yeah. Which I will hear some of the people that are upset we're not going back to Fuge because they're like, my friend from Texas.
Yeah, right.
It's like, but then
them.
We almost never are able to cross over the same week because Fuge is so gigantic and they do like 15 different weeks of camp. They're cranking it out. But you get to meet some new people. We'll be there with Transformation, so I know there's a lot of like people that go to school together.
And that's cool because like if you want to reconnect after camp, like they're not in Texas, they're just on the road. So
that's exactly right. They're in your honors biology if you're smart.
Hey,
yes, if you're smart.
If you're smart.
If you're smart.
If you're not, you'll be in standard or college prep. I guess I shouldn't say that.
That was me in math class. I always was the standard math class. Couldn't do anything above
Honestly, the standard classes, I feel like we having more fun.
Yeah,
it's like all my friends in standard they were like having the time of their life. Meanwhile, we were all stressed.
Well,
we were
Joel says you're stupid. So I was in the standard math classes.
Standard math.
I was in standard math and a lot of standard science.
I was like.
I was in honors at public school, and then when I went to private school, people told me that they were going to be a lot harder. And so I kind of wasn't able to go back to honors, but I was definitely in some remedial math, so that was fun.
It's hard.
Math is hard.
It's hard.
But AFAM was one of my favorite classes, advanced functions and mathematics. And it was basically like algebra 1.5.
That's very practical math, like stuff you.
Honestly, I never used calculus.
No, it was literally algebra. It was pre-algebra 2, or algebra 2.5. Because I did take pre-cal as a senior,
I did too.
but I was like with a bunch of juniors. Like whatever. I liked the juniors anyways. I was hanging out with them. So okay. Any other things about camp you want to share before we move on to the next one? Okay. Let's go to the next one. So we get to this one. I'm so happy that a student decided to ask this one. How should someone go through the Bible reading it's worded strange. How should someone go through the Bible for the first time? Reading it for the first time.
Ooh. That's a good question.
Slowly.
Oh, yeah.
Don't try to rush it.
Yeah.
It's not you're not just doing it to check it off of your list, right? So try to understand it. I always recommend when students come to me, I don't know, I guess I've traditionally been told, start them in the book of John.
Yeah.
I've always heard that.
Yeah, start them in the book of John.
John or Psalms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so, start there, I guess, in the book of John, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to do one of those Bible through the year programs.
No.
Well, I almost wonder if that's
too much.
I wonder if that's what they're asking.
Yeah.
But I think there's two ways to answer this question.
Well, with that one, there's a program you can follow
Right.
and get the daily accountability or whatever. But I do think that if you're going to read it for growth, you really should take it slower.
Yeah.
Like there's no, you don't get an award in heaven because you read the Bible through in a year.
Yeah. Yes, for
You
sure.
do get a cool thing on your app though, but
You can
On the
mark it
Bible.
red on Goodreads.
you get a
You
certificate for
Get a book on
continuing
your Goodreads.
education credits.
Percentage.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I would say, yeah. I see so much advantage to reading a gospel first. If you're reading the Bible for the first time, even. Just because, there's a lot you have to understand. I mean, oftentimes people who are reading the Bible for the first time is because they've been introduced to faith for the first time. And so, like, understanding who Jesus is and what he came to do and his story before you go back there's a lot of things in the Old Testament that are confusing.
Yes.
So if you start in the Old Testament, well, really just in general, if you're reading the Bible for the first time, the only piece of advice that I guess I have is don't read it alone. Like, if you're reading the Bible for the first time, like, find a Bible study or a group of friends that you guys can go into the Word
That's
together,
awesome.
because you're gonna have questions. And like, even having read a book of the Bible several times through, I might come back out and have more questions, like reading it another time. And so so definitely don't read it alone. Like, get some friends together or your small group leader or whoever and go through a book of the Bible together. Maybe a gospel is the way to start, I think.
And if you can't get that group, at least have someone you can go to that you trust for those questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have questions.
You are going to
Not
have
TikTok.
questions.
No.
Not Gemini.
No.
Not chat.
Necessarily.
Not chat.
Not AI.
No. Yeah.
That's good. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, going slower, I think there's a lot of pressure, and I felt this myself, of like reading a lot, but oftentimes reading a lot, you just can't go deep with it. And so when you're not going deep, you're either missing things or you're forgetting things. And then it's like, well, what was the point? Like, the point is, it's like hiding God's word in our heart. It's like, I feel like the more I've come to understand is like, I've got to really like understand it and know it. And that just can't always happen when I'm trying to do so many things.
Yeah.
Now, if the question is asking for like a Bible in a year plan, I feel like there's either the chronological or there's like different plans where like you read a little bit of the Old Testament, a little bit of the New Testament, a Psalms,
Proverbs. Yeah.
or Proverbs. Where it kind of like mixes it up. So it kind of just depends on what I guess you, like your personality type. I will say the chronological,
It's tough.
some of the Old Testament can get
It's tough.
real.
It's really good, but it's really...
Yes,
It just can
really
get real
rich,
long,
but-
yes.
Yeah.
And like it's like it can feel like there's a long time where you're in certain
Well, there's those
books,
segments from
but
what?
then it's cool.
First and Second Kings,
Chronicles,
First and Chronicles.
No, the Kings and Chronicles.
Where they're all the
where they're
same.
exactly the same,
Yes.
but minor
Samuel.
details are changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good king, bad king,
added or
good king,
whatever.
bad king.
Yeah.
Let me guess. Good king.
It'll also if you do a chronological, it will confuse you because the Bible,
Isn't
it's
necessarily-
not
right.
in chronological
Yeah.
order.
Right.
Like you'll read the first 5 chapters and then just read all of Job.
Yes,
And you're
yes,
like, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
But it's cool. Again,
It's
like,
great.
You know,
I
it's like
love
if
it.
you want,
I
it's
do
like
too.
it's cool to like see, to realize, oh, Job was written way earlier than like
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I guess for me personally, I liked having a little bit of all the things at once because then because during the Kings and the Chronicles when it was just like
At least you got some New
repeating.
Testament
what's
too.
going on? Yeah, it's like there was like something I was like, oh, New Testament.
Yes.
It just I was like I can understand it.
No,
But
yeah.
they're both good. It's just personality.
If you do want to read it through in a year, though, what's the plan we did last
Bible
week?
recap.
The
Yeah,
Bible
Bible
recap, and I
Yes.
know you've
That's
done
very
that.
good.
We have some students that are doing that right now. Some
Oh,
high
nice.
schoolers
Tara
that are
Lee
doing
Cobble.
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
They do it great.
They have a book. She has videos. You can do it through the Bible app. You can, do it on your own. She does incredible work. You can also go to the Bible Project, and they have a Bible reading, and on the app as well. And they have videos that accompany most days and everything. If you want to do stuff like that, it was really interesting. I would have always said John 2 to start, and I still do. That's perfectly great to start with. But I watched a video just like last week of a guy who does reviews of secular books. who is just doing like sci-fi and fiction and like all these sorts of things, but he's a pronounced agnostic, like has no interest in faith whatsoever. But he really loves literature, so he decided, you know what, I'm going to read the Bible. Like, I've just never done this before. I'm just going to check it out and everything. And of the 4 Gospels, he said, if you are going to, he had never read it before. He said, if you're going to read one, read Luke. Oh. He's like, that was my favorite, like, by far. He thought John was a little strange, which I can really understand.
There are some.
Yeah.
And Luke leads well into Acts.
It does.
It does.
It does. It's very narrative heavy. Like it feels like you're sitting down with someone as they're sharing the story, because that's so much of what Luke was doing. Like when he writes Acts, it's literally my dear Theophilus. Like when I wrote my previous letter, like I'm continuing the story. This is part 2. So I don't know if you've read John and you're like, all right, what's next? Maybe try Luke or something. There's a lot of details. It's the longest one. It's the densest one. Like it's got a lot going on there.
I think that's the only reason people have started with John.
Yeah.
Is because it's so dense. Luke is so dense.
Luke is so dense. Mark feels like almost, it's not Cliff Notes, but it feels like you are just like flying through it. And then Matthew, there's a lot. I've heard it's written to a Jewish audience. Yeah. So there's a lot that like, there's some insider knowledge there that you might not have. And then John's just like the real emotional one that he's like, everybody else started with the virgin birth. Like, let me go back to Genesis, like in the beginning. Yeah.
I am the beloved.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, Jesus really loves me. And I beat Peter to the tomb, by the way.
If you didn't know.
Like, in case you didn't know. So, so Bible recap, Bible project, what were you going to say?
Just something else to add to if you're reading the Bible for the first time. Journal it.
Yes.
As you're reading, journal the things that you're either questioning or the things that maybe the Holy Spirit is revealing to you, or just things that you think are rich that you'd want to remember into the future.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so good.
That's really good. And to your point, just to close it, like the first time I read through the Bible in a year, quote unquote, it took 2.5 years. Because it was about the point in the, you're getting through the Old Testament, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this is, I feel completely like nothing is speaking to me. I'm so confused. What are these names? What is happening? And I took a pause and I read some of Psalms, and then I read some of Paul's letters, and I was like, oh, no, I got to start the Bible over again. And I felt like the Holy Spirit kind of freed a little bit and was like, why? Just go and do it again. And I went slower through it, but I went all the way through it. And so just move slowly through it. There you go. Okay. Without looking it up, how tall is the Empire State Building?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Like in feet?
Sure.
2,281 feet.
2,281 feet. Because a mile...
I'm so bad at guessing this kind of stuff.
Because of Remember the Titans, I know a mile is 5,280 feet. You're going to pick this ball up and run every one of them.
Yeah, it's not a mile high.
It's not a mile.
Yeah.
Surely not. So 2,000...
That's why I picked...
200?
Yes, and 81.
That's I ditto.
Okay. Now I feel like I got to look it up.
I don't know.
I think
That was a student asked question. I feel like it popped up on one of those things that we do on Sunday mornings.
Oh,
the random
little,
trivia things.
Yeah, little trivia.
Okay, so I have the height. If you had to guess, because it's not right,
Ooh, we can play higher or lower.
Oh.
is it higher or lower than 2,280 or whatever it is? Higher or lower?
I'm going to say higher.
Okay.
Lower?
Really?
You're saying lower. You're saying lower.
I think lower. Yeah.
Okay.
You say higher.
I don't know, just to
Okay.
be the other.
Yeah. Somebody's got to win.
It is 1,454
Oh.
feet, aka 443 meters for our international friends here for the World Cup.
Yes, thank you.
It is
How many floors?
102 floors,
Okay.
and the spire and antenna is an additional 200 feet. So I guess maybe it's like 1,600 feet
Okay.
ish. I don't know if that counts
So now we know.
or not.
Let's see who remembers for next time.
I'm like, whenever you
I will not
like
remember.
guess the
Trivia
candy in
night.
the jar,
Is
I could never do it.
is
I was always so bad at it.
I was
That's a
never good at
math
that
game,
either.
right?
Yeah.
It was
Is
just
it this big? This is
I mean,
I'm just doing math.
But I know.
Clearly, measurements were not my thing.
Like it was just, I feel like I was always like lowballing it. I was like, there's no way this many are in there.
Is there a building that, or like it could be any type of building, a skyscraper, a castle, or something like that, that you want to visit one day? That's not a part of this. Just like if we're talking, Empire State Building is one that I feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I want to go to the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Maybe less so now because there's the one tower, isn't that?
The one in Dubai?
No. The one in New York City where the Twin Towers used to be.
The
One
World
Center or something.
Yeah, something.
Anyways, I feel like that one's stolen a bit of its luster because it's gigantic, like it's so tall. But is there a building?
I feel like it'd be really cool to go to that really tall one in Dubai.
The Burj Khalifa.
I have no idea what it's
I
called.
think
Burj
that's what it's
Khalifa.
called.
It's the
Yeah.
Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
I had a student
But
go
then
to
I've
it.
also heard that the Sydney Opera House is pretty amazing.
Oh.
I know. I was actually not thinking height. Like I'm trying to think of some like iconic.
That's what I'm thinking.
One World Trade Center.
Taj Mahal.
It's
I
1,700
was
feet.
thinking that. I was thinking Taj Mahal or something.
Kaaba.
I've always wanted to go to
Vatican.
like Italy and see like
Oh,
all
the
the
Leaning Tower of
architecture,
Oh,
the Roman Colosseum.
Yes.
the cathedral in Barcelona.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful. It like just finished.
Yes.
Oh.
They like have been building it for like 120
There's a lot of
something
beautiful
years.
churches in
Yes.
Europe.
Yeah.
The one in
They're-
Barcelona, I want to go to.
Yeah, I'm more of like I'm not really there for how tall is the building. I'm here for how pretty is it.
I'm the same
Yeah.
way. I'm the same
The
way.
architecture,
Height
the
doesn't
art
matter,
inside
right?
of it, stained
Yes.
glass windows, all the
Mm.
things.
I do love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go to. I love old cities, so I want to go to like Edinburgh. And that's not a building, but like it's
Right.
like it's
There's
got
castles,
castles and
yeah.
like old cobblestones and everything,
Yeah, for sure.
or like Oxford type stuff. Like
Yes.
that's where I want to go
Yes. That'd
and
be cool.
see those sorts of things.
Mm.
Yeah, the Burj Khalifa is 2,700 feet tall.
Oh,
Just so
that's
we know.
close to your guess.
Closer to my. Yeah.
Closer to your guess.
It has
1,200.
163 usable levels. It is
That's
double the height of
insane.
the entire Empire State Building.
Okay.
And 3 times the height of the Eiffel Tower. Let me tell you where I do not want to go to the top of
Wow.
again is the Eiffel Tower. That
No.
scared me to death.
Because there's just nothing.
He's just scared of heights.
It's just net.
Yeah.
It's just the
It's
net.
just
It's beautiful.
No, thank you.
Just net.
And you can feel it like.
Oh, I've been. Yeah. It's,
no, thank you.
Drama.
Any
Well, I want
other?
to see the Jesus thing in Rio.
Oh.
Yes.
Rio
That's
de
a good
Janeiro.
one.
Is
Yeah.
that where? Yes. Brazil.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
one. Yes, in Rio de Janeiro, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh, did somebody say that? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
She did.
I check out sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Next question.
So, going back to the serious things, how can a high schooler have fun while pursuing Jesus and staying away from the patterns of this world? And we can throw in middle school there too. How can a middle schooler and high schooler have fun while pursuing Jesus and staying away from the patterns of this world?
My first initial question is like, you have to define what does it mean to have fun.
Yeah.
fair.
Because
Good
if
point.
you know, like if you're saying how can you have, you can have fun, but like
Mhm.
what is the definition of fun in that question? Is
Yeah.
it, participating in a bunch of things that your friends are doing that you shouldn't, like is that deemed as fun? I don't know. I think like your definition of what is fun determines the answer to that question, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
No,
I think too, it's a matter of who you want to surround yourself with,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, if you are pursuing Christ, are you also hanging out with other people who pursue Christ?
Mhm.
Because you're going to have fun,
Yeah.
right? Like you're going to, because you're not going to collectively, hopefully, you're not wanting to pursue the things the world might think are fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to come up with things for yourselves to do that
Mhm.
will be fun, whether those are game nights, movie nights,
Yeah.
amusement
Yeah.
parks here. There's
Mhm.
all kinds of other things that can be done
Mm-hmm.
that are fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, some people just like deep conversation or laughs.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Mhm.
Right? It just like Lauren said, it depends on how you define fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, I saw something the other day that it was talking about there's type 1 fun and type 2 fun. And it was like type 1 fun is like really exciting, awesome things, but like you either forget about it because it was just kind of like super fleeting, or it was like kind of fun in the moment, but maybe had like repercussions or had, so then like when you look back on it, you don't look back on it as necessarily fun, like you kind of look back on it. And type 2 fun, like I never even heard of that, but it was like, type 2 fun is you might be doing something super exciting, super cool, or it might not necessarily have been the coolest thing you ever did, but when you look back on it, it is like some of the best memories. And like they were kind of tying it to like this group of friends were taking this hike, and it like was cloudy the whole time. It rained. They got to the top. There was no view. Like like it was, just, and it was like that should not have been fun. But this whole concept of like, but type 2 fun, it was like, but they had all these inside jokes that came out from it.
Yes.
They like had like they were laughing the whole time because they just were kind of laughing at the fact that like we had no view. It's cloudy. But it was like, and they were like, but when we look back, it was like that brought so much joy, even though it did not necessarily. And so there was this whole concept of like, I don't know if that necessarily is with this question, but it was such an interesting thought to me of just, how, to your point of like, what is fun? And it's like, fun is when you can look back and like have the best memory.
That's
and be able, and that memory is like, it's not tainted with anything, or there wasn't like but then this, it's like, it was just.
Well, there's this like false, I don't know, narrative's probably the wrong word, that like Christians can't have fun, that we don't have fun.
Yeah.
And that's just not true. Like Jesus objectively was a fun person.
Right.
Like he went to a lot of people's houses. He had dinner with a lot of people. Like he had a lot of friends. Yeah, he had a lot of friends. And so it's not this idea of like, okay, so to have fun as a Christian, like we're all going to be in this little huddle and we got to like go away to the other side of the, like we got to tuck away somewhere or something like that. But I think there's, to the question of what does fun mean, be like, well, here's some things that I value. Here's some things that I won't do, because I think because of what you said is so true. Like I don't want to have memories of things that happen that are tainted with guilt or shame or like, oh, well, we had fun, but I really wish I hadn't done that. Like we all have situations like that in our lives. And so it's determining for yourself, like, okay, here's some lines that I'm not going to cross. And you can operate within that, and God gives us freedom within that. Like to read, to play, to have fun, to go to the movies, to all sorts of things.
I think too that
that's all the stuff that I like doing.
Sounds fun.
Redesign, right? You can redesign what you think is fun. I tell you, I've had some great fun serving in places.
That's so
with
true.
Other people, like whether it was something as simple as Project Clean Nation every year has done make sandwiches for the homeless, and we just go into the Project Clean Nation store, and they have all the supplies there, and we're just building sandwiches together and bagging them and putting them together. And then we've been places where we've gone out and done a service project together.
Yeah.
Like even something as simple, and Caleb remembers it still from when he was in middle school ministry here, FS Middle. When we just went and picked up trash on the side of the road up here that one morning where we did that service. He's like, when are we going to do that again, Dad? It's not up to me. But it was fun.
All right, well, let me make a note real quick.
We had fun.
Yeah.
Right? And even the service days that we've had with our life groups.
Yeah.
You know, and those, it's fun serving.
And I think too, like, if there's like two polar opposites of like being boring is just staying home and being alone, and then having fun is like going out and partying or something, like that's where I imagine this question coming from, is like the word fun is like going out and doing social things that typically like Christians wouldn't involve themselves in. Be the person that organizes the stuff that is fun, where you don't like don't wait for somebody to create an alternative. You do that. Like, start a book club with a bunch of your friends, or
Yeah.
have
Or a
them
game
over
night,
for
yeah.
games, like a murder
Or
mystery
potlucks,
dinner.
yeah.
Like,
Murder
mystery
right.
dinner.
Have them
Like-
over for dinner and a World Cup game.
Literally,
just
Yes.
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
the person that hosts that kind of stuff and like opens up the door for other people who
Yeah.
are feeling the same way as you
yeah.
Yeah.
to come in and know I can have fun without doing all of this other
Right.
stuff. Like, this isn't the only social outlet
Right.
for me as a Christian.
And it does reach a point, like and I love how you're drawing that point, because it does feel that intense in high school and
Yeah.
in college.
Yeah.
Some, depending on where you go and different things and what you're allowed to do there, but like it does feel so intense of like, okay, I've got to do stuff that's like on the edge, or
Yeah.
this isn't fun.
Right.
We're lame, we're boring, whatever. And like the older I get, I guess the more I'm like, man, that's just not
Yeah.
like that fades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
Well, and there's a difference too in fun versus entertainment as well.
True.
You
Yeah.
know, because Bible study can be fun
Mhm.
with the right people, and if you can invite people over for
Mhm.
dinner and Bible study,
Mhm.
you know, or whatever, and it's fun.
Yeah.
You know,
We've said for years, like some of the best growth within our serving team for FS students has been like, look to the people that are in your life group that aren't serving, that you're already doing life together, and come and serve together.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have fun.
Oh,
like
for sure.
going to the retreats.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
hilarious.
Yes.
Going on to summer camp, you're going to be exhausted. It's going to be a lot, but you're going to have so many amazing memories, and being able to share that together. Like when we're outside of here, when we're all doing things socially, which we all have before, like we wind up talking about students and different things that are going on and different
Yeah.
events that have happened, and certainly a lot of other things. But to your point about serving being fun, like you can find ways to make those memories together. And you can start it in high school. Like you pursuing Jesus and having fun are not like opposite
Right.
from each
Yeah.
other. I
Amen.
think that's
Yeah.
like one of the biggest things.
I have so much fun as a Jesus follower.
For sure.
And I love that.
Actually, have more fun.
Lauren, yeah, exactly, and we remember it.
Yes.
Oops, sorry. I love that Lauren emphasized the fact that too many people sit around waiting for someone else to come up with
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Be that person.
Yeah.
Step out and be vulnerable enough to invite people. Open your
Yeah.
doors
Yeah.
to provide the thing.
Yeah. And that can be hard because it's not, you may not get the amount or the
Yes.
attendance that you want the first time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
but keep pursuing that, because those are doing stuff like that is fostering the relationships that
It's worth it.
are worth it. Yeah. It's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Following Jesus can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
is fun.
It is fun. It can be, and it is. Speaking of fun, are the Hornets making the playoffs next year? Does anybody care about the Hornets? I do a
not
little
as
bit.
much as I do the
know.
Panthers.
Yeah.
But I don't know, after last season.
I know. I'm like always down to root for a home team. So like I will always cheer for them.
Right.
I don't know if I am like
Our family
as
likes
big
the
of a
colors.
fan. They also have
Teal and
tons of
purple,
games.
right?
They have a lot of games.
Yeah.
They have
She's
a
got
lot of
purple on right
games.
now.
I heard they're really fun games.
They are fun. I've been
Like
to
you
a
go
couple.
They
to
are.
them, they do a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yes,
They're-
they're very fun to go
They're
to.
fun when people are there.
Well, that's fair.
I know.
'Cause
Back
I've
in
been
the
to a lot-
Bobcat days, they were not fun.
Yeah, I've been to
Well,
a lot
I
of
think
games
they've
where
been
no one
doing
was
better
there.
than they have in the past,
Yeah.
for sure. So
They definitely
it's
have
fun
some
to go to
excitement.
games where they win.
yeah.
Yeah. I think they should. To answer the question, are they making the playoffs? I think they should.
Yeah.
I think it would be a disappointment if they didn't.
Did
They
they
had a
not this year?
No,
They made the
I thought
play-in.
they did.
Yeah.
They made the play-in, which is different.
Wasn't that
In the
like the
playoffs.
furthest we've been in a while?
A
So
long
that's
time.
what I'm
I think
Long
more than
time.
I think
Remember
more
that
than
it was
10
some of
years.
them.
I
Yeah.
think.
So
Um,
I think.
And those were the
chance.
first two Hornets games I've watched since that random time we went with your mom in
Yeah,
like 2021 when no one was
Yeah.
there.
No, tickets
And-
were like $9.
Yeah.
That was COVID, yeah. Post-COVID,
Yeah, it was post-COVID.
people were still scared and wearing.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
No.
pre-COVID. I was like,
Oh.
oh yeah, and tickets are like $8.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was it
For
was
like
tough.
close up because no one was going because they weren't good. Again, it's like when
Was that right? They're
they haven't been good.
resurrecting or whatever. The rebranding.
The
and all that.
rebranding.
Well, yeah, because we
when-
were the
remember when
Hornets.
they
When did
Then we
that
became the
happen?
Bobcats.
And
Then
then
we
they
went
became
back to
became
the
the
Hornets.
Yeah, I'm very happy we went back to the Hornets. against the Bobcats was never a good idea. So are they making the playoffs?
They're keeping the cat themes, right?
Hopefully.
Panthers, Bobcats.
Well, we got
And then
Charlotte
that's
FC.
Yeah, we have Charlotte
I
FC.
love
Charlotte
a good,
FC.
The
Love
Carolina
a good Charlotte
Hurricanes.
Like,
We've got
Go
Canes.
Canes.
North Carolina. Yes, North Carolina.
North Carolina sports are up.
We're coming up.
Let's go.
We are,
Yes.
really.
The real question is, are the Panthers making the playoffs?
Yes,
this
my answer is yes.
Yes.
Immediately. Bryce Young will be taking us to the playoffs.
Yes.
year? I am so. I don't know. I don't want to get delusional. I don't want to be hurt again. But
We
like,
get
It's like a,
Delusional
it's like
every
a
year.
toxic relationship.
Yes.
I believe in it.
it's literally that Michael Scott thing of like, I'm ready to get hurt again.
Yeah,
Like,
that's me.
I'm
That's me.
so ready.
No, I
September,
start
I'm
off.
ready.
I start off so optimistic. Like, guys,
Yes.
This is it.
it's because I watch these like edits,
Yes.
like online, and it's like, and I'm like, I believe it. I'm like, yes, like this is us.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, we are excellent.
Yeah.
And then 3
We
games go
are.
by, and I'm like, oh.
No, it's this year. I feel it.
It is. I agree. We're not getting worse. We are going up.
Up.
I hope so. We have a really hard
We're
schedule
going
this
up,
year.
up,
Well-
up,
Oh my stars.
I still have not seen that.
I haven't either.
I probably need to. Yeah. It's a song that'll get stuck in your head. Yeah. Okay.
I know a guy that would watch it with you.
Oh, I bet there's a couple.
Is that guy you?
I would be one of.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I hope the Hornets make it. I feel like they could get in as like an 8 seed, 7 seed, something like that. It'll depend. But the Panthers, man, I really, really hope we make it. If we don't make the playoffs, it's gonna be
Oof. Rough.
there's gonna be a lot of disgruntled people. Because just like the
Staff
Hornets
changes.
playoffs game,
a
like
coach getting fired.
just like the Hornets playoff game, or when the Panthers got into the playoffs,
Yeah.
it was just like the whole city
This
exploded.
city was on
I
fire.
could feel the energy in the air.
Yes.
And I
It was
just
the best week.
Charlotte's
you talk
fine.
about
Ever.
fun. Like
Yep.
you can be a Christian and be passionate about
There you go.
sports. Like cheer for the Panthers or find a team, not the Cowboys, and just cheer for them or the Saints. Sorry, McCants, but not. Can't stand either of those teams. And every time, McCants is from New Orleans, and every time he's like, "You really don't like them?" I'm like, "No." Like I realize that there is a sanctification that needs to happen in me to like not hate the Cowboys and the Saints so much. But she can tell you, like the anger is
Oh.
very palpable in the room when we're playing those teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like,
And-
he
Ever get
hates
that
them.
worked up about?
It's-
He's very,
Yeah, I get most games
especially
I'm pretty
like football.
yeah,
Like
most
Panthers football.
a lot of
gets the
games,
most out
I'd
of
say
you.
most games I can be calm. Like I'll get excited and I'll get frustrated, but I'll be pretty calm. But like when we play the Saints, like
Especially if they're winning.
I wish
That
they
TV
did.
gets shut off real quick.
I-
Like we're not
I
finished.
got
this.
so mad this year. Okay, so glad we could talk about the Hornets for 3 minutes. Do y'all have any questions? Anything you wanted to bring or add or ask? You don't have to, but y'all were talking beforehand about like, oh, we may have some questions.
Oh, that's for
I know that was for
Yeah,
something
that's for
else.
Oh,
You weren't
okay. I'm
paying
sorry.
attention.
I'm sorry. Other conversations, inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one someday.
It wasn't a joke. It was something serious.
Oh, it's gotta lock
I'm
in.
joking.
Yes.
Okay, next question then. All right, I'll just keep going. I like this question. Why is the way that I pray in my head so much different from how I pray out loud? Parentheses. Like what I talk about, not making things flowery or anything.
Oh.
It's really interesting.
So like this person saying in their head they pray really conversationally, whereas like out loud it's very scripted.
I think so. I think so.
It's probably because, I mean, when I think about me praying out loud, I'm praying out loud because I'm praying in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when I am praying out loud, it sounds more scripted because there's some sort of like an external pressure to sound a certain way.
Right.
Versus like when I'm genuinely just praying and having a conversation with myself and with God, I'm a journaler, so I don't really like pray in my head because I'll get distracted or fall asleep.
Same.
Yeah.
But like when I'm writing, it's just like pages long of just like conversation. It's
Yeah.
not because there isn't any sort of scripted way I'm
Yeah.
supposed to quote unquote pray in front of
Right.
other people. You don't, and you try to. There's a pressure to like sound good. And
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
sometimes too, you just want the prayer to be over, so you say like the same things over and over again, and everyone. That's something I've been convicted of recently. It's just like you say the same things in your prayers out loud, but it's that external pressure probably to pray in front of other people in some way.
For sure. That's good.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because I'm trying to think, do I pray out loud by myself? If no one else is in the room?
I don't think I do.
And
I totally do.
I think if I do, it's like a mumbly type of out loud, not necessarily
Yeah.
It
proclaiming
depends.
out
It
loud.
depends for me.
That was the first thought that popped in my head, is that, must be other people in the room
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's affecting the way that you might pray.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's part of the way that you were raised, or what you're used to hearing
Yeah.
other
True.
people pray like. Because I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've definitely been listening to other people pray where I've walked away thinking, man, that was a powerful, good prayer. And then other times I've been like, what in the world did you just say? So
What are we talking about here? Yeah. Yeah.
So it could be some of that. You don't want to be the person that people walk away thinking.
So don't
Oof.
pray in front of Joel.
Yeah.
He's judging.
He's
He's
judging you.
judging
In your prayer language.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what is that? What are they saying?
Not really.
I think so much too. It's like, yes, because now, as I've gotten older, I have prayed way more out loud, either like in the car or we'll pray together out loud, and it's just extremely conversational. Because I think, going to the point, like when I'm praying out loud with Johnny, it's like I don't feel like I have to impress him. Like it's like he's like the person I feel the safest with, which means my prayer out loud also reflects that. Like I'm not out here pretending in my prayer, and so I think something that, if this question is kind of geared towards like when I'm praying in front of people, it's, which we've kind of said with a lot of these questions, like it just matters so much about who you surround yourself with. Because like all four of us were a part of that prayer study that the leaders did. And we had to, it was kind of crazy because the way the prayer study was, it forced you into like, and it was different types of prayers that you did, but it was everyone has to do it. Like everyone is participating, and I feel like so much when I was in that room, because it was people who we were all studying the same thing, we were all coming and approaching it the same way. And I really feel like in that moment, we just prayed very plainly, but it was helpful because everyone in the room did.
Yes.
Like no one felt like I was having to like,
what anyone else was thinking.
yes,
You're
so it's like it,
praying with purpose.
yeah, and so I feel like it just so much matters if you're praying out loud and you feel yourself, switching what you say because of who you're around. Like that just probably means maybe you don't feel comfortable. And so it's like, find people that you feel safe and comfortable with. That's like, we can just pray out loud and we can just speak plainly to the Lord. And I don't have to be thinking about what this person thinks about,
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's times where you're not in that situation,
For sure.
like, where it's like, you don't know the people around you, but also it's like, well, then who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, then who
At
cares?
the end of the day, regardless of who, whether there's a person like me
Right.
out there,
Judging.
it just, who cares? You're talking
Yeah.
to God, and
Yeah.
you're not.
Also, the more you do it, I think the easier
Yes.
it becomes and
Yes.
the more
Yes.
normal.
Yeah.
Because again,
More
I feel
normal
like our
it
whole
feels.
like prayer study, by like the fourth or fifth week, it was when it was like, okay, here's today's practice. It was like,
It was
okay,
like a spontaneous one too. Like we were
Yes.
like just saying
Yes.
things spontaneously.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so but it felt like comfortable because
Yeah.
we knew who we were praying to
was
and
so
why
good.
we were
Yeah.
praying.
yeah, and like week one, where it was kind of like, okay,
Oh, I
here
have
we
to
go.
pray out loud.
Whereas like week 4 or 5, it was like, all right, what was today's practice? Let's go.
Back to fun things real quick.
Yeah.
Y'all hosted that moment for people to come
Yeah.
into your
Oh,
home
and it was
do this
fun.
study.
It was fun.
And it was
And we had
fun.
dessert,
We did
We
lots
did.
of
and it was
cookies.
supposed to be an hour, and it wound up being like 2.5
Because it was so
because it was so
Yeah.
good.
There's so many moments that deepened
Yeah.
relationships
Yes.
and
Yeah.
deepened
Yes.
understandings of one another that
Yes.
we looked forward to it when we were able
Yeah.
to
Oh,
do it.
same.
Yeah, same.
I
loved
can't
it.
wait to
Really
do
good.
something like that again.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, once we get through the
So
summer.
thank you for
Like-
doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Well,
yeah,
we
do
will
it.
do it again. Not that exact one, but something different. But I think like y'all are, so much of what y'all are saying is we really lack the practice to do it.
Mhm.
I think that's something that I've tried so much. It was a couple of years ago. I think I had read a book about prayer, or a couple of them, And I got so sick. I was almost you to other people, but to myself. I was sitting there and I would pray out loud, like in staff meetings or at youth or something like that. And I'd be like, what am I saying? Like, I'm not almost what you were talking about, of like, I'm just repeating the same things. I'm saying the same stuff. And I really, what you're saying, like, I really thought at that point, I said, I don't want to repeat myself when I pray. Like, I don't, not even necessarily praying for the same things or, you know, dear God, I thank you for this day. You know, you can start it that way if that's comfortable for you. But I said, I don't, every moment is different. Every day is different. I've encountered different people. We have different needs. I shouldn't be just saying the same thing over and over, even though I do love liturgies. But like, when I need to bring my present self to that prayer moment, and it takes practice because it feels very weird and you're gonna feel a bit out of sorts. But I think whether it's mumbling to yourself alone, journaling, I think I go back and forth. Like, there's a lot of times where I'll pray internally, and then there's times where I like yell prayers and stuff like that, and everything in between. In the car, I have found that I tend to stay on task more when I pray out loud, or I journal.
No, that's fair.
And so I try to do that, but I'm definitely not perfect. And so if you're feeling like, man, the way I pray in my head sounds so much different than the way that I pray out loud, all the things that y'all were saying about insecurities that we have and different things, but I'd say just really try to start next time you're asked to pray out loud at the dinner table. Like, you know, you don't have to go for 15 minutes at the dinner table.
Right.
People are hungry, but you can just be vulnerable and I don't know. Yeah, we just get so caught up and it's got to sound so good and everything. And there's times where I'm just like, okay, I think that's all I have to say. Okay, thank you. Amen. Like, I'm done.
Right.
Like,
No, for real.
and we feel like we've got to like have this big thing, and yeah, I don't know.
In a different aspect of prayer, I'm involved in this guy's Bible study on Monday nights, and we always take prayer requests at the end. And one of the things that the Lord has, I guess, convicted me about or pointed out through some of the guys in the study, and this is, I guess, it's different from praying and the prayer question that was there, but don't pray magical prayers where you're just like, God, please help me be a better husband. Please, God, help me be a better father.
Get specific.
Without doing anything about it.
yeah.
Like, you're just
That
sitting
too.
there going,
That too.
God, change me.
Yeah.
But I'm not really going to do anything to try
Right.
to change.
Yeah.
I just am expecting you to do it all.
Yeah.
And so, that has birthed some accountability conversations.
For sure.
When you're like, oh, just pray for me to be a better dad, which I always want to be a better dad,
Right.
a
For
better
sure.
husband.
For sure.
But they're like, but what does that mean?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
better at what?
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's something that the prayer
Yes.
training or whatever we did, Bible study, talked about how, like, praying specifically for
Yes,
things
yeah.
and not just in generalities. Generalities is great. We should pray for our world,
Yes,
pray for,
right.
our leaders, pray for our church, and you can be very, very general about that. But if you're talking about something personal in your life, like, oh, I realize that I have been irritable with Chloe recently.
Yes.
Lord, please give me patience, give me understanding to see her side of things, or whatever. Like, having those specific prayers and beginning to think about that. And I think that's something that you can journal. That's something that you can easily track. That's something that you can verbalize out loud. But also, I think to have just another element of this is, like, you don't have to pray with the same vulnerability regardless of where you are. Like, I would hope that we reach the point in our world where, in our church, in our student ministry, where you can do that. But there's going to be times where a level of vulnerability of, like, praying for something like, oh, I realized that I hurt my wife, like, earlier this week or something like that. Like, I'm not necessarily going to do that on a Sunday morning from the platform necessarily.
Yeah.
Like we can pray very specific things, and maybe that's something worth talking about if we're in a marriage series, like, for sure. But, like, it's not necessary. You don't need to feel the pressure of, like, okay, I need to be entirely vulnerable or I'm not being authentic to my internal dialogue with God. Like, there is a healthy wisdom in, like, all right, I'm gonna,
Discernment.
some discernment, which does lead us to our next question. But I want to make sure that y'all were able to say all you wanted to say. Okay. So our next question is, how can I pray for God's will and have discernment in my life? Pray about it. Be specific. If there's something specifically that you want to pray to God about, I can go ahead and start this off, I suppose. Pray about it specifically and ask God to make it clear. Lay out the options in front of you. If there's a couple of things that you're trying to decide about, like a college choice, for instance, God, just bring clarity, bring purpose, bring direction to my life, and we can just continue to pray over that.
I like that. I think too, I know that for me early on in my faith, trying to discern God's will from my own will, or even asking that, is this Satan trying to trick me into something, or is this God leading me in this way? I think it's a matter of praying about everything and listening. Listening for the lead of the whole, and learning how to hear his voice or to see his hand in those things that you're praying about. I feel like the biggest decisions that we've ever prayed about in our lives and tried to trust God in, he made it really clear, right?
Yeah.
But you had to take the time to hear him. I saw a meme or something that popped up on social media today that talked about how we want to hear the voice of God, but yet we fill our ears and our eyes with all this distraction.
Yeah.
But yet we're like, God, why aren't you talking to me? And it's like, well, he is. You just can't hear him because
you're not
you have
listening.
your earpods in or your earbuds in.
We have no silence.
Right. We don't have silence. Yes.
And sometimes too, I think when the answer is not what we want it to be, we like to gaslight ourselves into thinking, but that wasn't God. That wasn't God. And sometimes we like to do that to ourselves. And to your point, I think he makes it very evident when we listen and we do pray about it. I do think too, sometimes we have to make decisions or choices, and there isn't necessarily one way to go about it. And we cannot guilt ourselves into what if I miss it? What if I miss the thing God's calling me to? What if I even colleges sometimes sometimes you're going to be caught in between different choices, and you have to trust that wherever you go, God's going to use you in whatever situation you find yourself. So sometimes he does make himself very evident when you're listening and you're hearing, and he points you in a direction he wants you to go, and sometimes he allows that choice and asks that you just trust and surrender it to him as you make that choice.
Yeah. No, that's so good. I mean, yes. I cut you off. You were about to say something.
Oh, no. I was just to that point, because that was me, when picking a college. I had narrowed it down to really 2, kind of 3, but I narrowed it down to 2. And I felt like I had to have a sign. I felt like I had to have a
Here's my
boom.
fleece.
Booming
literally,
voice.
Literally.
And and someone so wise just told me God is not threatened, nor is he in the box that we put him in, to where it's if I do anything, I can be out. Not be outside the will of God, but it's almost like I can mess up my
God's
life
plan.
and God's plan, and because God is not big enough or powerful enough to use everything in my life for And so they were what if this is God saying, these are 2 great choices? Because it was the first question was kind of what is your reasoning? And if in both of my reasonings for both colleges, it wasn't either reason was bad or it was both reasons why I wanted to go to both schools were good, and I was they could both this could offer this, and it was well, then what if this is just God letting you have a choice?
It's where you get to exercise autonomy.
It's and it's
free will.
Free will. Yes, but it was it was he's and in that as part of he is gracious, and he is not a God of confusion, and so you sitting here trying to be so confused. Now, to your point, the Holy Spirit is in every Christ follower.
Mm-hmm.
And that like gut feeling you have, if you start to feel, it's like that is the Holy Spirit, you know.
Yes.
And then if you start
you will
acting
know.
out of
Yeah.
that, yes, like,
Yeah.
like and you
You
will
will
know,
know.
because if you start to feel that gut feeling in either direction of like, wow, either like in a good way or in a negative way of like,
Yes.
I'm not feeling good. You're feeling that for a reason. Yeah, you know, yeah, it's like now to your point, it could be partially like, am I gaslighting myself? You know, but
Yes.
it's like, but you'll kind of
Yes.
know. It's like there
You
is
know.
like the Holy, he's not a God of
Yes,
confusion.
you
So
know.
it's like he will, you know, and it kind of takes me back to the, was it Joshua and crossing the Jordan? Is Joshua the one
Which
who,
part?
who had to cross the Jordan River, and they were like wanting this like
The
sea moment.
Oh.
Was that Joshua?
Yes, I
In
think
the
so.
Old Testament? I can't remember. I think it was. But anyways, but it was like the Israelites. It's like they wanted Moses and the Red Sea 2.0. It was like, God, open the sea. We've got to cross this river. And God told him, I thought it was Joshua. I could be wrong. But it was like, start walking. And they had to actively walk through, like, you know, like the Jordan River before God made a way. And so kind of also to the point where sometimes you just got to start walking
You
in
have to make a
obedience.
decision.
Make a decision, start walking in obedience, and then God will, he'll make a way,
Yeah.
and
It's
he'll
wild
use
how
you.
God does make a way.
He does.
Yeah, and so it's like, but sometimes it also requires you to be like, okay, God, I'm.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what
Steps of
McCants.
faith.
Yeah, it's what McCants talked about on Sunday of like, obedience should precede your
Yes.
understanding of things. Where it's like,
Mm.
you know, okay, like, I gotta obey.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
right.
Yeah.
and I gotta walk, and that might be fearful, and that might be scary, but I've gotta like put myself out there a little bit.
And didn't he also bring up the point that obedience doesn't mean it's going to be easy or
Oh,
pain
no.
free?
No. I mean,
Like-
I don't know if he said it or not. I'm not sure, but you're exactly right.
Like
Yeah.
we expect, oh God, I'm following
Yes.
you, so everything
Yes.
should just be
Yes.
wonderful and awesome all the time.
Yes.
And it should always make
It
sense.
always makes sense, and that's just not
Right.
Oh,
always the
That's
case.
so good.
There are times when it is, and it's awesome when it is, but there are a lot of times when it's like, nope, I still need you to trust me.
Yeah.
I am still working.
Because we talk about obedience leading to a blessing,
Yes.
and we don't fully understand what a blessing is. Like, does that mean that I'm healthy and wealthy and prosperous
Right.
and maybe not even wealthy, but like I can pay my bills and I can, you know, handle, or like I have the best roommate in college. This is confirmation that God, like, it's not necessarily like you could, yeah, those types of things aren't necessarily confirmation that you've been obedient to God. But again, he uses people even if they are running wildly from him. Like, whenever I think about these types of things, like I think of Jonah.
I literally was going to say that.
So I'm
we
talking
all,
about.
we all have an
Well,
interchange.
go.
No. I'm just like, I was thinking about Jonah, you know, running from the will of God.
Like he knew.
He knew.
He knew the
gaslit
direction.
himself.
No.
This is
Yes.
gaslighting. He gaslit
No.
himself into thinking he could get away from God, get away
Uh-huh.
from the will of God, get away
Mhm.
from the calling, do what's comfortable. And clearly that didn't work out for him.
Right.
Like,
Because
And
God is
where
big
did-
enough to say,
Right.
okay, you do that,
Yeah.
but you realize
You're funny.
Like at
You
the
think you're
end,
in
you
charge.
just took the longer,
Yeah.
harder road to
Yes.
where I wanted
Yes.
you to
yes,
go.
because you will end up where I want you.
Right.
Yes.
Like I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Just took a different path to get there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I let you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
like,
yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing because, like,
but bless.
yeah, yeah. But it's a beautiful thing because, like, God didn't forget him.
No.
He didn't say, like, all right, well,
But then I'm choosing somebody else who's
forget
different
you.
and more obedient.
Yeah, forget
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You're out of here. He reoriented, and we see that all throughout Scripture. We see that with
Yeah.
like Jacob. We see that with a bunch of like the patriarchs.
Well, the story that pops in my head right now is Balaam.
Yeah. Yes. And the
Balaam.
talking donkey.
Yes, and the talking donkey, and how that donkey
That's in the Bible,
veered several
not just Shrek.
times.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat,
Why-
I mean,
and
literally
beat
beating
him
the
and beat him,
donkey.
And then finally God said, "All right, he's going to tell you what he's doing."
Yeah. He's like,
I'm protecting you.
Yeah.
Why are you
Right.
beating me?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When have I ever led
Yes.
you astray? Look. And then
So I think when we pray, like, one of my favorite verses that my dad always says to me when I was really concerned about a decision was like, our God is not a God of confusion. He's not trying to trick you. He's not trying to make it hard to follow him or hard to know him, I guess I should say. Like, he's not just trying to
Right.
be mysterious for the sake of mysterious' sake. Like, he is mysterious because we can't comprehend him. But
Right.
he's not trying to, like, send you mixed signals and everything like that. And so when you're praying for God's will and desiring discernment, I think a thing that we constantly come back to that Scripture tells us to do is like, we'll test the Spirit. Like, if you sense the Spirit telling you something, test it. If it's something like, that is directly against something in Scripture, that is not God speaking to you. That is whatever chemicals are going through your brain.
Special circumstances of God.
To go and be sinful or something like that. Like, but then also talk to the people in your life. Like, God has placed people in your life at this time for a purpose. Like, I had a major decision to make my senior year of college or senior year of high school, as so many seniors and high schoolers do. And we had just gotten a new youth pastor. He'd been there like less than a year. And he was able to sit down with me and essentially say what your mentor told, or wise person told you, of like, God has laid out two great paths for you. And he told me his story of how God laid out two great paths for him and said, wherever you go, go and be obedient. And so, like, God has put people in your life right now for a purpose to be able to speak into that direct situation that you're walking through. So my question would be, as you're praying to God and pursuing his will and feeling like you're having that discernment, like, who is that person in your life that you can go and confirm? Not that you're going to them like they're God or whatever. And there are certainly people are fallible. They'll be like, no, I don't want you to move that far away. That type of thing. But like, who is the trustworthy adult, parent, mentor, parental figure, something like that in your life that you can go to and say, hey, this is what I'm kind of thinking about. This is where I'm kind of wrestling with, and see how God can use them to speak into your life, because you don't have to make a decision alone. Like, especially if it's something that you're really praying for God's will about or God's discernment, like, you probably shouldn't make it alone.
Right.
Like, you probably should have somebody speaking.
And allow people to pray for you, right? To join, come alongside you in whatever it is that you need that prayer for.
I think one more thing I would add, just very practical to the question of how do I pray for God's will, something I have had to do in my adult life that I kind of just wish I had done earlier and sooner, is in regards to praying for his will. I have just started praying, like, Lord, like, prepare my heart for what your will is. Because if your will and your plan is wildly different from mine, I don't want to be disappointed by it. It's like, and I won't long term, but it's like, but I don't want to even head into it with such disappointment. Like, I'd rather head into it with excitement or with like hope, and it's, I think so much in my adult life I've had to realize, and so many of my prayers have just been like, Lord, mold my heart, prepare my heart for your will. Obviously, you know my thoughts. So it's like you know my thoughts. You know, like, where I'm thinking, but like, I just either, like, I want to be so excited and on board with your will and with your plan as it comes. And if I'm so laser focused on what I want or what I think is gonna needs to happen, it's like it could just lead to disappointment. In God's plan. So it's like, just like, God, prepare my heart for whatever it is.
Yes.
I want to be open.
I think part of that too, and this may sound cliche and whatever, is that peace of just being able to trust God regardless of the outcome.
Yes.
You just have peace.
Yeah.
Like, God, grant me the peace that whatever comes out of this, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because I trust you. Right? In humble obedience, I trust you.
And I would just add one last thing, just an element to consider as students, as I realize this is something that might be a bit, maybe something to just tuck away and consider later, but implementing some type of fasting with pursuing God's will and discernment is, we have found, invaluable in our lives in some of the biggest decisions we've had to make. Like, whether it is a full fast for a certain amount of time, which, be wise about that, talk with your parents about that, all that sort of stuff. Abstaining from something for a certain amount of time, like, I'm not on screens, or I'm not having candy or sugar or meat or something like that. Like, withholding something from yourself for the purpose of not just like, it's not to hurt yourself, it's to say, like, every ache that I have for this thing that is good, I want to point as a prayer. It's literally like the reminders on your phone that ding every time you set a reminder. It's your body like, I am hungry. Lord, make me hungry for you in your will. Like that's literally what you're doing. And so when you fast in that way. And so I would say, you know, if it's something really big and that's something that you're considering, and that's something that you would want to consider, talk to an adult about it, talk to somebody that can help you do that wisely, with wisdom and everything. And yeah. So, okay. Sweet. All right. We have 2 more questions.
Sweet.
2 more questions. What does God's, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Maybe only one. We'll see. What does God's calling on a high schooler to a life of evangelism look like? God's calling of
That's you all day.
evangelism look like?
What do you mean?
That was you.
In high school?
In high school. All day.
Oh. What does can you say that question one more time?
For sure.
That's a loaded.
What does God's calling a high schooler to a life of evangelism look like?
I think when you think of evangelism, immediately your mind goes to like international mission trips, and that's not how it has to be. To like live a life of evangelism doesn't mean you have to be some sort of a missionary who goes to different countries and shares God's word. There's people in your community that need to hear it, and you know, speaking from my experience as a small group leader, I know like not everybody's even as intimately as your home life isn't a space where there's like-minded believers. And so I think as a high schooler, a life of evangelism looks like you pouring into your relationship with the Lord first, because you can't pour from an empty container. Pour into your relationship with the Lord first, and then let him use you in whatever spaces you're already in. If it's your home and it looks like your parents, which is a situation obviously it shouldn't look like, but like if that looks like ministering to your parents, and that's ministering to your parents, your siblings, your spaces at school, and choosing to live a life that sometimes it's just choosing to live a life that looks different than everybody else, and allowing them to come to you with their questions of why do you live this way, why are you this way, and remaining open and honest about it. I think like it doesn't have to look like you going to seminary, going to a mission trip, like anything like that. I think it's just you pouring into your relationship with the Lord and allowing him to use you in the circles you're already in.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep.
And I think same answer to the prayer question, just practicing listening to the voice of God and seeing the opportunities he gives you to speak truth into people's lives. And it can be the people you see every day, whether that's at school or work or home or whatever. But it could be that you're just aware of other people, that God, the Holy Spirit, starts to show you needs in random places. Where just a simple hello or a how are you or how can I pray for you?
Right.
Or stepping into moments that people are having, you don't even know them, but you can tell that they are burdened with something that you just want to make sure they're okay, and it ends up in a gospel conversation, right? But I agree with Lauren. That comes from building your relationship with God, spending that time with him, so that you know when he's pointing you into a soft heart, to a heart that's ready to hear the gospel. You know.
I think too, to like Lauren's point, where sometimes we think evangelism means to go far away. It's like it could be your very backyard. I think also when we think of evangelism, we sometimes think like, oh, well, it's got to be in these super secular spaces. Whereas like, especially for students, you know, who either go to Christian schools or even like in youth group. Like you cannot, you know, if you are in that space where it's like, well, I'm very rarely in a space where everyone there is not a Christian. And it's like you just cannot assume that those spaces don't need evangelism, and you cannot assume that just because someone either goes to a certain school, or if someone is at church even, like, comes to youth groups, or it's like you can't really assume anything. And so just because you're in a certain space that might feel more Christian, it's not like that evangelism turns off. Where it's like, oh, so now, because like I'm just going to assume everyone here is on the same playing field. And it's like, you just like can't. And so like that same energy of how can I pray for you? How can I, it's like, do that to the people in your youth group. Do that to the people in your Christian school. It's just like, because I know for me, sometimes I can get caught on like, evangelism only means when I am in certain spaces that are very non-Christian. Right. And then, but it's like realizing like, even some of the Christian spaces.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But it's like, anyway, so I just, because sometimes I know it's easy to be like, oh, well, I'm very rarely in that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm very rarely in that scenario, so I'm kind of good. And it's like, well.
Well, I love what you said there, Chloe, because I think we, like you said, make the assumption, but we also keep our Christian relationships relatively shallow.
Yeah. Yes.
To the point where we don't really know what each other are struggling with. Or
I'm not asking my friend, how can I pray for you?
Right. Because
like I really should be.
Everything is great.
Yeah. It's like, that's the person I should be asking.
Right.
Yeah, you almost feel like you can just let, not your guard down, but it's like, oh, I was in the game when I was, like if you're on a sports team, like I was in the game when I was in that secular environment. Now I'm on the sideline, and I can prop my feet up. I'm taking a break, with this evangelism thing. Yeah. I mean, we've all obviously been in a Christian school environment and have seen people that it's like, wow, I didn't know that person didn't have a relationship with Christ. Right. Like I just assumed. I had a friend, a very close friend, all through middle school, through a lot of high school, prayed to receive Christ on a mission trip. And like I would have, if they would have said like, who are some people that you assume are Christians in this room? Like he would have been one of the first ones that I went to every time. And so I think it's a good, I think the question is worded very well, because it says to a life of evangelism, because that's what, as a Christ follower, that's what we're called to, like a life of evangelism. And as teachers, you three, as family members, as wives, as husbands, as, all as friends, like all of these things we're called to bring Christ into those moments, bring Christ into those spaces. Everywhere you go, you are an evangelist. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're, standing with the blowhorn and the tracts and everything. Like that's not it for a lot of people. Yeah. A lot of people can't, my dad is an evangelist like no one I've really ever seen. Like I remember him coming into the house one day when a guy was like trimming our hedges, and he led that man to Christ, like just outside our house, like, cause he just walked out there to pay him and just started talking to him about his life. Not really with an agenda, not trying to, sell something or anything like that, but just genuinely interested, like y'all have been saying. And so not all of us are going to necessarily do that. Not everybody's an extrovert. Not everybody, feels comfortable with all speaking in public and different things like that. But we are all called to bring to the spaces that we're in, to the relationships that we're in, the circles that we run in, the environments, whatever, like all of us have been saying. Bringing Christ in that moment and being unashamed about it. Like if going back to the fun question from earlier, like if you start planning these things and having this fun, and they're all of a sudden like, why is nobody drinking at this thing? You can be like, well, I just don't really think that's a wise thing to be doing as a high schooler, and because of my faith. Like I'm not trying to cast dispersions on anybody or judge anybody, but like for me personally, that's not really something I'm going to be involved in. And it can be stuff as simple as that. Like and then allow your life to proclaim the gospel.
Well, I think too, in light of that, or with that, it's a consistency too. Yeah. Like, you're not going to have that moment and be like, oh, I don't think drinking is necessary or whatever. And then it's done. Yeah. It's going to be that, oh, every time they come to your house, no one's ever drinking. That could cause them to stop and think, well, maybe drinking's not that important because we're having fun. Yeah.
It can even be like another example would be like, you don't cuss.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the conversations that you have with other people. Like, man,
Or
every
not
time
gossip.
every time I talk to her, she never wants to talk about other people. She
Yes.
redirects the conversation
Yeah.
because she doesn't want to talk bad about others. Like,
Yeah.
so there's just little daily things that
Yeah.
that evangelism looks like, and sometimes it's big steps of obedience. Like,
Yeah.
if like I remember the prayer study again, going back to that. Like, he started a prayer meeting at
Yeah.
his public school.
Yeah.
He found a teacher
Yep.
who was willing to sponsor it,
Yep.
and he led a prayer thing at his school,
Mhm.
and it led a bunch of kids to like understand who God
grew.
is.
Yep.
And so like sometimes it's big things like
For
that, and
sure.
sometimes it's little things that make you feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
like not participating in
Mhm.
conversations or different things. But like that in and of itself, living a lifestyle that aligns with Jesus, shows other
Right.
people how Jesus lived. That's
Yeah.
evangelism. So
And even saying things like, well, God showed me.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
blessed
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Or God gave me. You know, and just
I've been
making-
praying for you.
Yes,
The-
making
yeah.
God's name active.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in
just
your
saying
life.
it.
Yes, as
Yes.
you're sharing with
Yeah.
people like,
Yeah.
oh, and the Lord led me to,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
because then people are like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, because the more they hear
Right.
that, it's like, interesting.
Yeah.
You say that a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
And then it like, leads to.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Hmm.
That's all the time we have for today.
That's
I'm so-
unfortunate.
I know, I'm sorry. We have some more questions that hopefully we'll be able to get to in the future. But I want to thank you guys. 3 of the wisest people I know. I'm so grateful for y'all and how you've spoken, each of you has spoken wisdom into my life at various points and been people that I've trusted and gone to, and like talking about God's will and discernment. I've gone to all of you for discernment at different points. And so I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for y'all jumping on the podcast to talk about camp and the Empire State Building and prayer and things like that.
No idea.
We have no clue how tall buildings are. But I'm just really grateful for you guys, and thank you for taking time out of your day to just come and answer some questions.
Thank
So
you.
keep submitting questions. We're going to hopefully do another one of these before the end of the summer, so you can submit your questions. There's a link in the bio of the podcast. Like us on YouTube, subscribe to us, share, whatever. If Stumptown wants to sponsor,
Yes.
I love your coffee. I
Yes.
love your coffee so much. I will throw this Starbucks out the window.
Or the Hornets.
Or
If
the
Hornets would like
Hornets
to
would
sponsor.
sponsor.
as well.
Really, if David
Panthers.
Tepper is
They will
listening,
talk.
Lamelo.
David Tepper is listening.
please, Carolina Panthers, we will we'll
Charlotte
do
FC.
everything we can.
Charlotte
Um,
FC.
But yeah, sports ball. Yeah, let's go. But yes, I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you for listening. See you next time. All right, peace.